welcome to Ask Sue London. This is the show that helps people and pets cope, heal, and move forward. I'm your host, Sue London. And before we talk about our topic today and our amazing guest who's back, I want to just share my website address with you. It's asksuelondon.com. Why I'm sharing that with you is because a lot of things we're going to talk about in this show and every other show that you might be watching is that you are able to book a consultation with me to learn more about your pet and what they're going through. So you can go to my website, asksuelondon.com. Also, on the second and the fourth Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, you can register for the Ask Sue London live events. It's free. I do a different talk each time. And the upcoming talk that I'm going to be doing is pets and past lives. So we're going to talk about that. And during those calls, you can send me a picture, one picture of one pet the day before, which would be the Monday. And you can ask me one question and I will answer that on that live event. And also during that live event, you and your pet will be experiencing a distant healing from me. So there's lots around that. So make sure you do go to that website, asksuelondon.com, because I've got lots of goodies there for you. Now, she's back. We've got Kyla Gibson with us today. Welcome back, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
So if you guys have not met this girl, this amazing girl, let me tell you about her. She is the Pet Value Manager from the Fort Erie, Ontario, Canada location. She is amazing. She is wonderful. I love her, love her, love her. And she's really got it in her heart and her soul and her well-being. It's all about the pet. So why I'm telling you that is because if you are adopting a pet, you don't know what to get, if it's a cat or a dog or bird, she can help you. If you think that there's a pet that, you see, talk to Kyla first because she knows the history on a lot of animals. She will help to connect you with the right pet. No pressure on Kyla because that's not my intentions in this. As you know, Kyla, it's a natural instinct for you. You're so good at this, right? And so that's why I want everyone to know that you've got to go see this girl at the Pet Value in Fort Erie, Ontario, Canada. And if you're in the States and watching this, she's just right across the Peace Bridge from Buffalo, New York. So you got to go see her. She's worth the trip. Okay. That's all I want to say. Now, the last time we talked, we were talking about animal adoption. Well, on this episode, we're going to talk about the issues that come up, how to deal with them after you have rescued a pet. So let me ask you, Kyle, I know that a lot of people come to me and they've got all kinds of things going on. What I want you to do right now, can you share some experiences of what you've seen that people have gone through and how you've helped them? And then I'll share some of my stories so people can see that we're going to give them lots of tools if they're going through something with a rescue pet, how we each are helping them. Does that sound good?
Absolutely. So some of the personal experiences I've encountered being the manager at a pet store and just throughout the years of working around animals and whatnot is a lot of people will go in looking for something specific, and a lot of it boils down to a look of an animal. Oh, this one is the cutest thing I've seen, so that's the one I'm going to get, and not necessarily who works best for them, per se.
Right.
So, you get a very, very busy couple who doesn't have a whole lot of spare time, and they get one of the most high-level energy dogs that's out there. And then don't have the time necessary to provide the activities that high level energy dog might need, or the whole encounter how I got my one dog, and they got a high level energy dog, a single senior lady, and could not handle her physically and ended up having to rehome her.
Yeah.
things like that. So there's a lot of consideration that needs to go into adopting before you adopt,
Hmm.
but a
Right.
lot of times that's not the case, and you end up
Hmm.
in these situations where they've already adopted this pet, not taking any of
Hmm.
those things into account, and now it's the how do we deal with it scenario
Right.
without
Right.
having to, the last thing you want to do is adopt a pet and then have to put them back where in the situation that they have just come from. So ending up back
Right.
into a rescue or having to rehome them once again. I had a
Right.
staffy at one point and she had been rehomed probably 3 times uh, before, and even then I haven't been able to keep track of where she's ended up because everything she got bounced around so much. And because what starts to happen is when
Hmm.
they get bounced around so much, every household they end up in has a different set
Hmm.
of rules, different schedules, everything's different
Hmm.
in each place they
Right.
go. And it causes
Right.
chaos in their mind. They don't know at that point what's right and what's wrong. And
Yes.
so a lot of people will end up with behavioral issues and things like that. So
Mhm.
that's kind of what we'll
Right.
touch on a little bit today and
Yeah.
whatnot. But yeah, so that's the
And
primary focus.
right. And see, what I find is that people will come to me and they've rescued a pet. And what people don't know, and this is really important if you're watching this, that your pet is a rescue pet, and a lot of times they've been through something. And so you have to realize, it's like a child. A child has been traumatized. They could have been abused. They could have just had a nasty, angry owner. The owner could have even had fear issues. So, whatever that past was, it carries in that pet. And so, where I come in when I'm helping somebody is what happens to me is that when I'm working with a pet and their owner, I feel in me physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually exactly what that pet went through. And I actually get a video in my mind what exactly happened to that pet. So when somebody comes to me, I can tell you what happened. And a lot of times it's that pet has come to that owner to teach them that, you know, maybe the pet's scared, but if the owner looks at themselves, because the pet will mirror the owner. So I will say to them, like, is it fair to say you've got issues with fear? What are you scared of? And then they will tell me a whole list of things. So I'll work with them around that. So, between Kyla and myself, there are answers for you, and reach out to us is what we both want to say, because sometimes people just go, oh great, this dog was cute, but it's like you say, high maintenance. Well, okay, so maybe you're supposed to get out walking, like you got like a Jack Russell, for example. I remember, like, my husband had one and we were constantly walking Maddie. We had to always go out because she was just, one day we looked and she was like a little oh my
Spring
gosh,
bone?
Winnie Winnie the Pooh, what, Tigger, and she was like Tigger. That was her nickname, and she literally jumped up and got into our above ground pool. And so, like, our daughter was a lifeguard, and she saw that. And she went out and she got him. But you think of 5 foot pool, you don't think of a small dog jumping in the pool, right? And so you have to really look at the eyes of a small being, to look what's on the ground. Like Kyla says, you have to be aware that they're coming. If, like, this one dog came from 3 environments and there's energy from each one, right? And then different, like patterns. And if you have a place where there's chaos in your home, how's your pet going to know what to do? So in my mind, and you can tell me what you do, Kyla, is I always say to people, you have to, like, have a schedule kind of thing, be consistent,
And be
and
prepared. Be prepared for
be prepared.
everything.
Exactly, right. And I mean, like, we've talked about how we had Buddy come in our life a few months ago, that helped us to get Buddy in our life. And when we got him, the son's owner told us that he just wasn't good in the car because it was his first car ride taking him. Well, that, like, we had no idea what we were getting into, but our mindset, my husband Ross and my minds are that pet came to us for a reason. We give it love, we give it patience, understanding. And what happened for me in that case was that Buddy's horrific, and I mean horrific. I mean, Kyla can tell you, I've sent her videos that it was insane how Buddy was petrified in the vehicles. And I would do healing on him. And then I got this vision, that he was thrown from a train in the 1800s. Well, of course he's going to be scared because it's a past life thing, right? So your pet that you might have just rescued may have past life stuff going on that I can help you with.
Exactly.
Now, what do you do when someone comes to you and they say, "Oh my gosh, like this pet's peeing on the floor," or like they're biting, or like I don't know how to handle it? What do you say to people?
I just try to judge the situation and
Yeah.
try and provide as many helpful tips with personal
Mm-hmm.
experiences and things that may have worked for me or even some of our other customers, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it really depends on what the situation is, as they can vary drastically.
Big time.
So
Big
in
time. I
like
agree.
Buddy's case with the car, and I mean, an example, you have had to work with him every day doing short
Yeah.
car rides and things like that just to
Mhm.
try and get him used to and comfortable. You want him to be
Yes.
comfortable in that type of situation. You don't want them to feel that fear and anxiety and whatnot. And
Yeah.
if they're
Right.
behaving and doing these behaviors, there is a
Mhm.
reason for it. It's just a matter of figuring it out and
That's
trying
right.
to provide solutions to help them get through it.
That's right. Totally. That's totally right. And like I'm not saying this to brag to anyone listening. I can help you. I can help you understand exactly where your pet came from. And that to me is the biggest thing, that if you understand where your pet's at, what it's been through, then you will have more patience if you knew some of these traumatic situations of abuse that have happened to some of these animals. It would make you sick what I see. And I don't even want to go into that in the show, but I want people watching this to have an understanding. If you've rescued a pet, I'm hoping that you are committed to them, right? We want them to be,
Exactly.
you know, it's like you've just adopted a child. This is a new member of your family. And sometimes when the pet comes into your life, it's, well, always, I should say, they're there to teach you a lesson. They're there to
Hmm.
help you like cope or heal or find comfort or strength, whatever that is. And that's where it's really good to get yourself present and really, connect with your pet. Sometimes people say to me that, well, my dog died and I got another dog, or my cat died and I got another cat, but they're not bonding with me. And a lot of times, what I see is that the person's still grieving over their other pet. And they're actually saying, I wish so and so was still here. And they're forgetting, but that pet knows that pet feels that, right? So, like, these are things I want people to be aware of. Now, what do you want to say to that? Like, you've got so many things that come to you as well, right?
Exactly. So, and like, if somebody's coming and talk to you, it's a great idea to come and see you. So this way they can have an idea of what is going on more
Mhm.
specifically with their pet. Um,
Yeah.
you can point them in the right direction. This is what you're getting from the pet. And then this
Yeah.
way they come to us, we can provide the necessary tools
Right.
to kind of get past that. So,
Mhm.
um,
And what I like about like the fact that you're in like the pet value, like I can come to you and, whether, we were kind of looking at things to help Buddy have like a normal life, because if you've never seen like the show before, or my episodes with Kyla, Buddy was a dog that where the man came into her store and said he had to find a home for his parents' dog. And the woman had dementia. The husband had Alzheimer's. They got Buddy when he was 8 weeks old from a son who meant well but didn't kind of think it out. But they were 92 and they had this going on with their mental health. They forgot they had him. And here he was, just found. They didn't even know they had a dog when this other son came. And they said, "Where'd the dog come from?" And they didn't even know they had it. So poor Buddy had lived on eating bird poop. And that kind of was his food after the vet, checked his stools and everything for food. And so Kyla was really great. I can't believe she said, "Oh, let's get the boys having this toy and this orange ball." Kyla, the orange ball. These dogs, I had no idea when she told me to get this ball what it was going to do to the London house. That the dogs take these balls to bed, and it's really good for the one I'm talking about,
The
right?
dental
The
ball. Yep.
well, we is that what it's called, the dental ball? Well, I have to come and get another one because what's happening, and again, we've got Marley, so we have two dogs, guys. When you're watching this, and they each will sniff the ball, and they've decided whose ball's whose. And the one has worn out the squeaker, so they don't want that toy now. So I have to come in and see Kyla again to get another ball with the real squeaker, a new squeaker,
Keep
because
everybody
they've worn them
happy.
out. But we've never had balls like that for our other pets. So you knew instinctively to just say, let's get them that. And now this is a daily thing that we have to do and if I don't do it, they will bring it up. Like if it's nighttime and I've just kind of crashed into bed, say at 11 o'clock at night from 8 in the morning or whatever, constantly working, they'll bring this ball up on the bed. It's like, we haven't had our playtime yet. And when your pet expects you to have this consistency, you still got to do this. So I will get up and we'll down like the hall, we'll throw them back and forth, and we do that. So you're great at helping people with the tools and the items that you can just go to the shelf and say, this is what you need. So that's why if you're watching this, I really recommend you connect with Kyla, and I recommend that you go into her store because she's got the things that you need to help you with your pets. And like we've had balls, but not like these. You call them the dental balls, right? It's those little nubs. They
Exactly.
like to chew them and clean they're supposed to clean your teeth, right? Is that what they're for?
Yeah, it'll clean their teeth as they play with it, and so as they're
Yeah.
squeezing and squeaking it, and all those little ridges are gonna get up in between the teeth and gums, scraping off plaque, tartar buildup, and just keeping them a little bit cleaner.
Right. And I'm telling you, these guys have got really clean teeth because they're constantly walking around with the ball in their mouth, and then they dropped it. I'm taking your ball. And then if they want to get the attention, they'll take their paw and flick it under the couch so that they know I'm going to have to get down. I used to get down on my hands and knees. And anyone watching this, if you've got a pet that puts a toy under a couch, use a broom. That's my new thing. I figured out what to do. You just have to bend over and take the broom under your couch, because I was doing this every 10 minutes. And now I'm ahead of them on that. So
Exactly.
anyways, that's a little story about the London house. Is there anything, we're almost out of time. What is there anything else that you want to share with people about, if you're having challenges with your pets? What do you want to say to these people?
Check out your local pet store. I mean, a lot of them have contacts for uh, potential trainers. If worst
Hmm.
case scenario, you do have to consider taking your pet to a dog trainer or um,
Hmm.
things like that. Um, I mean, there's so many different options.
Hmm.
But yeah, I'd
Patience,
say
right? Having patience is a big thing too, right?
that really
Understanding.
is definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's tons of different ways to go about, like if you're having
Mm.
biting issues, or if they're a little standoffish around other animals, like something as
Hmm.
simple as doing a dog park, but keeping safety
Hmm.
in mind as well. Like there's
Yeah,
tons of different tips and whatnot that we can also provide for
yeah.
just about any situation you may encounter. We're here to help, and we've got a lot of personal and experiences as well as other customer experiences that we can kind of relate from and try and point everybody in the proper direction they may need.
And we'll put your the location in the description. What were we putting in before? Or is it your phone number, or were we putting your email?
The
What were we
email.
putting?
We were doing the
The
email,
email.
and by all
Right.
means, even if you just have a question, just shoot us an
Yeah.
email. We're here to help in any way.
Hmm.
We are currently
Hmm.
working on our Pet Value Facebook account. So hopefully that'll
Hmm.
be up and running for our next interview. And this way it's a little
Great.
easier to reach out contact wise. But again, yeah,
Yeah.
even if you're not in our local area, even if you're
Hmm.
outside the country, I mean, that's what's handy about social media is that
Right.
you can still
Yeah.
reach out to us and ask for our help and our advice. We're always here.
Yes, exactly. And the same goes with me that, I'm here to help you. This is my life mission, is to help pets heal, to help owners cope, heal, and move forward after the loss of their pet, to help you understand what your poor little, furry friends have gone through in their past, to help you understand what you can do for them now to help them to heal. And so if you want my help, you can just go to my website, asksuelondon.com, and there you'll see a form where you can fill out if you want to ask me a question, or you can join me on these Ask Sue London live talks that, I talked about in the beginning of the show, the second and the fourth Tuesday of every month, where you can come on there, hear the different topics, and ask me your question live. I'm always there live, so that you can ask me that. But yeah, we're both here to help you wherever you live in the world. It doesn't matter that you maybe not live in our own area. That doesn't matter. We're both genuinely committed to helping pets. And, we don't want to see any pets suffer. And, when you rescue pets, that a lot of them do have a history. And so when you figure that out, then you can really get a good plan of action and give these pets a beautiful life. And I can tell you, a lot of the pets I've rescued have gone on to do pet therapy with me at hospitals and nursing homes, and been part of like my team. Like you can see Buddy's shorts videos right on, and the adventures of Buddy on my YouTube at Ask Sue London. You can check that out because he's kind of a part of what we do, and Marley's on my on there as well with me. So I want to encourage you to reach out to either one of us. We genuinely mean it when we say we are here to help you. So, my question to you, my friend, you'll come back? We love you
Always.
here. Perfect. Well, we are going to wrap this show up, guys. And after the show, Kyle and I will like look at our next topic. If there's a topic that you would like to have covered and we haven't covered it, or I haven't covered it, send me a message through my asksuelondon.com website, and fill out the form and tell me what information you're wanting to learn about, because that's what this show is about. It's to help you and your pet to cope, heal, and move forward. So, on behalf of my beautiful, wonderful, amazing friend, guest, manager of the Pet Value Store in Fort Erie, Kyla Gibson, and myself, Sue London, we want to wish you much love and many blessings. And I'll see you again real soon.